So here we are in the most romantic place in the world, and here you are with the most romantic guy in the world.
1983, a movie that was supposed to be just another teen comedy. Instead, it became a cultural phenomenon.
The phone, do you remember?
And what name did you give?
That would launch careers, break boundaries, and create one of the most talked about scenes in cinema history.
Jordan thinks that length is most important. What do you think?
This is Private School. And these are 20 weird facts you definitely didn't know. Fact 1, the Paula Abdul connection. Before Paula Abdul was spinning around on MTV, before American Idol, before Opposites Attract, she was a 21-year-old Laker girl choreographer.
Yeah, I'll go in and buy them.
But up till now you've done...
Who got her first movie break on Private School. But here's the kicker, she didn't just choreograph the dance scenes. She actually appears in the movie as an uncredited cheerleader. That's right, future pop superstar Paula Abdul is literally in the background of your favorite 80s guilty pleasure.
Another chance.
After what he did?
What the hell?
The girl who would go on to sell millions of records was making $50 a day teaching Phoebe Cates how to move. Talk about humble beginnings. Fact 2, the infamous horseback scene was shot 3 times.
That's the finest example of bareback riding I've ever seen.
The scene that made Betsy Russell a household name? It was torture to film. Picture this. A freezing cold day, an open field, dozens of crew members watching, and a horse that nearly ran away with its topless rider.
They're just good friends.
Russell later revealed the real reason they shot it 3 times wasn't for artistic purposes. Quote, "I got the feeling the only reason they shot it so many times was so the producers could keep watching my tits bounce around. The first horse was too wild. The second take wasn't cinematic enough.
I think I can do that.
Oh, how thoughtless of me.
By the third attempt, Russell had caught a cold and was questioning her life choices, but that third take that became cinema history. Fact 3, the length versus. Width debate started a cultural phenomenon.
I think is the most important in a penis, length or width.
This wasn't just a throwaway joke. This sparked actual debates in movie theaters across America. The writers had no idea they were creating what would become one of the most quoted exchanges in 80s cinema. Betsy Russell's deadpan delivery of "I think width," because Jordan thinks length became a cultural touchstone.
My older sister's Christine Ramsey.
College dorms, high school hallways, even late-night talk shows referenced this scene. The film's sex education classroom scenes were so provocatively written that several theaters received complaints. But the controversy only made people more curious. Fact 4. Phoebe Cates hated making this movie fresh off Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
I got newer pants!
Yeah, and that's about as...
Phoebe Cates was Hollywood's newest it girl. But Private School? She considered it career suicide. Cates was so uncomfortable with the nudity and sexual content that she demanded a body double for several scenes. The shower scenes you think are Phoebe Cates? They're not.
Consumed in moderation, alcohol.
Years later, Cates admitted she only did the film because her agent convinced her it would be Fast Times but funnier. It wasn't, and she knew it from day one. Fact 5. The condom shopping scene was improvised.
To buy some condoms.
Yeah, well, let's see. We have these on sale this week. This is,
The awkward pharmacy scene where Christine tries to buy condoms? Half of it was completely improvised. The elderly clerk was a local actor who'd never done a movie before. His deadpan question, does he like them pre-lubricated,
I'd like to buy some prophylactic device.
wasn't in the script. Phoebe Cates' mortified expression? That's genuine embarrassment. The director loved it so much, he kept the cameras rolling. This scene became a teaching moment for sex education classes across the country. No joke. Teachers used it to discuss safe sex and overcoming embarrassment about protection.
Like better.
Oh, I know you're interested in seeing the site for the new wing.
Fact 6. Matthew Modine almost quit 3 times. Matthew Modine was not having fun. The future Full Metal Jacket star found the script juvenile and the direction chaotic. He threatened to quit 3 separate times during production. What kept him? His contract, and the fact that he was broke. Modine later called Private School a paycheck movie and admitted he was embarrassed by every scene.
Don't worry, no one is gonna find it.
Ironically, this role led directly to his casting in Vision Quest and eventually Full Metal Jacket. Sometimes the jobs you hate most open the doors you need most. Fact 7. The vibrating bed scene broke. The bed
Bed. Have you ever slept in a...
hotel's famous vibrating bed wasn't acting. It actually broke during filming. The motor overheated and started smoking, filling the room with electrical fumes. Phoebe Cates and Matthew Modine had to evacuate the set, while crew members dealt with what they thought might be a fire. The romantic scene became a safety hazard. They ended up using 3 different beds to complete the sequence. The lesson? 1980s motel technology wasn't built for Hollywood. Fact 8. Betsy Russell's audition was legendary. Legend has it that Betsy Russell walked into her. auditioned, took off her shirt, and asked, "Will these do?" While Russell denies this story, the casting directors never did. What we know for sure.
Nothing is fine, Mrs. Oliver.
Russell was 19, had done maybe 4 TV appearances, and knew she needed something dramatic to break into movies. Private Schools was her calculated risk. She later said, "I knew what I was getting into. I wasn't self-conscious because I have no hang-ups about my body." That confidence translated directly to screen presence. Fact 9. The film was banned in 3 countries. Private School was considered so sexually explicit that Australia, New Zealand, and parts of Canada banned it outright.
Oh, why not? Is Jimsy Whimsy afraid?
Not restricted, banned. The irony? By today's standards, it's practically tame. But in 1983, the combination of nudity, sexual dialogue, and teenage protagonists was considered revolutionary. The bans only increased demand. Black market VHS copies were selling for $200 in Sydney.
Of course I do. Why do you say that?
Sometimes censorship is the best marketing strategy. Fact 10. The movie's soundtrack launched careers. The Private School soundtrack featured Rick Springfield, Bow Wow Wow, and Harry Nilsson. But the real discovery was a then unknown band called Berlin. Their contribution to the soundtrack led directly to Take My Breath Away and Top Gun. Fame. The label executive who heard their Private School track,
I was just...
Yeah, I know what you were.
he signed them immediately. The soundtrack went gold. The movie made millions. The formula was clear. Sex plus music equals success. Fact 11. There's a secret sequel that was never released. Universal secretly filmed a sequel called Private School 2.
Education!
The reunion in 1985. It was completed, scored, and ready for release. Then they screened it for test audiences. The results were so catastrophic that Universal buried the film entirely. It has never been seen publicly and reportedly remains locked in their vault. Rumor has it that none of the original cast returned,
Please, we won't be needing any assistance.
which should tell you everything about the quality. Some sequels are better left unmade. Fact 12. The cheerleader routine was choreographed by Paula Abdul.
First, we're gonna give him cheer number 69.
Remember that iconic cheerleading routine? Pure Paula Abdul choreography. She spent weeks teaching the actresses moves that were considered cutting edge for 1983. The routine's suggestive nature caused problems with the MPA ratings board. They initially threatened an X rating just for the cheerleading sequence. Abdul later said this experience taught her how to work with difficult personalities and tight budgets, skills she'd need when managing her own music career. Fact 13. Sylvia Kristel's cameo almost didn't happen.
Art? What class are you in?
Sylvia Kristel, star of the infamous Emmanuelle films, was cast as the sex education teacher, but she almost walked off set during her first scene. The problem? She found the script too juvenile compared to European erotic cinema. Kristel was used to artful sexuality, not teenage hijinks. The director convinced her to stay by letting her rewrite most of her dialogue. Her scenes became the most sophisticated parts of the film. Fact 14. The swimming pool scene required 14 takes. The climactic pool scene where Miss Dutchbox car rolls into the water, it was a nightmare to film. The car kept floating instead of sinking.
I want you to meet Bambi, your new stepmother.
They had to drill holes in the bottom and fill the trunk with concrete blocks. Even then, it took 14 attempts to get the car to sink properly on camera. The actors were freezing, the crew was exhausted, but that final take became one of the film's most memorable moments. Fact 15. Betsy Russell turned down Playboy 5 times after Private School's success. Playboy pursued Betsy Russell relentlessly. They offered increasingly large sums for a pictorial. Russell's response? "I wouldn't pose for Playboy though, and they were after me for quite a while."
What happened?
Jordan was on the extension.
Scumbag.
She drew a clear line between movie nudity and magazine exposure. This decision probably cost her hundreds of thousands of dollars, but preserved her ability to transition into more serious roles later in her career. Fact 16. The film's title changed 7 times. Private School wasn't the original title. The script went through Academy Girls, Cherryvale Academy, Coed Confidential, Boarding School Blues, Young and Wild, and Private Affairs. Focus groups hated every single option. Private School was chosen literally the week before theatrical release because it was the least offensive option remaining. Sometimes the simplest choice is the right choice. The title became iconic enough that dozens of other films tried to copy the format. Fact 17. The movie launched a subgenre of Private School success, created an entire category of teen sex comedies. Porky's, Fast Times, and Private School became the holy trinity of 80s raunch. Studios rushed to produce imitators. Private Resort, Private Lessons, Private Duty Nurses. The word private became code for sexy teen movie. Most of the imitators flopped, but the formula was established. Attractive young cast, outrageous situations, memorable one-liners, and at least one scene that would become legendary. Fact 18. There's a drinking game based on the film.
You only go around once in life and you gotta grab for all the nookie you can get.
College students created an elaborate drinking game around private school's most quotable moments. Every time someone says nookie, you drink. Every time there's nudity, you drink. The game became so popular that bars started hosting private school nights. The movie found new life as interactive entertainment. Bubba's philosophy about grabbing all the nookie you can get became the unofficial motto of the experience. Sometimes the audience creates their own meaning. Fact 19. The cast had a reunion in 2003, 20 years after release. Most of the main cast reunited for a private screening in Los Angeles. What they discovered: none of them had watched the complete film since 1983. Phoebe Cates was surprised by how much she actually enjoyed it with 2 decades of perspective. Matthew Modine still cringed at his performance. Betsy Russell? She laughed through the entire horseback scene. Time had turned embarrassment into pride. Fact 20. The film almost got a modern remake in 2016. A major studio seriously considered remaking Private School with a contemporary cast. They even commissioned a script and began preliminary casting. The project died when they realized the original's most memorable elements would be impossible to recreate in today's cultural climate. Some films exist perfectly in their time period. The remake would have sanitized everything that made the original notorious. Sometimes lightning doesn't strike twice. Here's your bonus fact.
Your shining faces, even as you go forth to fulfill your bright promise. And now I shall yield the floor to Miss...
The infamous graduation mooning scene was completely unscripted. The actresses decided on their own to flash the headmistress during the final ceremony. The director was so shocked he forgot to yell "cut." The reactions you see from the adult actors, those are genuine. Sometimes the best moments happen when nobody's planning them. Private School wasn't trying to change the world. It was trying to entertain teenage boys and make money for Universal Studios. Mission accomplished on both counts. But somewhere between the outrageous situations and quotable dialogue, something magical happened. A silly sex comedy became a cultural touchstone, a launching pad for major careers, a time capsule of 1980s attitudes about sex, youth, and rebellion. Was it high art? Absolutely not. Was it influential? Undeniably. Sometimes the films that matter most are the ones that just want to make you laugh. Private School proved that with the right cast, the right moment, and one unforgettable horseback scene, any movie can become legendary. So what do you think? Did we miss any crazy Private School facts? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed diving deep into 80s cult cinema, smash that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. We've got plenty more weird movie facts coming your way. Until next time, keep watching the classics. Even the weird ones.